Hello all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome again to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have two coins for you from Australia. The 1976 50-cent coin and the 1996 50-cent coin. As you can see, they both are dodecagonal. They both have Queen Elizabeth on them. And they both say Elizabeth II Australia on them. And that's where many of the differences end on the front. The first coin here, the 1976, is what they call the second portrait of Elizabeth II, and it's with her wearing the tiara from the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland. So this is the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara on her head, and it is the second portrait. And this coin is a copper nickel coin, 15.55 grams, 31.5 millimeters in diameter, and 2.55 millimeters in thickness, and you can tell by looking at it that it has some straight edges. This is actually a dodecagonal coin. In other words, it has 12 sides. So let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides on each of these. Now this particular coin, the 1976, there were 27 million of them made, 27,280,000. It's actually a relatively valuable coin as Australian coins go, or older Australian coins go. This is worth about $2 American in fine condition. This is close to fine, maybe not fine, but it's certainly in pretty good condition, and it's probably worth about $2 US. I've got no idea why, since they made over 27 million of them. But that's how the collector's market goes. It is a very fine portrait of the Queen. On the portrait on the right of the Queen is what we actually call the third portrait. The third portrait of the Queen, which was made from 1985 to 1997 on a 50-cent coin from Australia, has her facing to the right wearing a King George IV state diadem. So look at that. So this is an older crown, and that's from King George IV. Again, it's 12-sided or dodecagonal. The edges are smooth on both of these. This one's a little rough on the edge, but it's not a reeded edge. It's just been beaten up a little bit. And this one, you can see, just has the smooth kind of copper nickel edge. And they're both copper nickel coins, which is why when you change the light a little bit on them, sometimes they look brown even. So you can kind of see how that kind of brown gets a little brown, and then if you get up a little bit, they turn a little bit more shiny or silver looking. So these copper nickel coins have that quality to them visually. The 1996 coin has the same dimensions, 15.55 grams weight, 31.5 millimeters in diameter, and 3 millimeters in thickness. In the 1996, there were 19.3 million of them made. Now, these coins, this coin of the third portrait has an interesting mintage history, because it was minted, 1 million of them were minted in 1985. It was not minted again except in uncirculated and proofs again from between 1995 until 1993. Then in 1993, there were almost 1 million of them made. And in 1996, they minted it again, and they made about 19.3 million. In 1997, they minted it again, and they made about 4.3 million, and those are the valuable ones. If you can find a 1997 in very fine condition, it's worth about $4 US. On the back of each of these coins, yeah, let me show you something first, show you how big these are. These are huge coins. This is a Kennedy $50, America's biggest coin. Well, essentially America's biggest coin. We have some old dollar coins that might be a little bit bigger, but this is the bicentennial half with Kennedy, and you see how this coin is even bigger than that. And if you want a comparison with an Australian coin, we'll take a look at the Australian $2 coin. And the Australian $2 coin, look how it's dwarfed. It's worth 4 times as much, but this Australian $2 coin, and look at That's the fourth portrait, when she was even a little bit older. So these coins' beauty is on the back. And on the back you see a coat of arms. And on one side of the coat of arms you see the familiar Australian animal here, the kangaroo. And on the other side of the coat of arms you see the emu, or the flightless bird, not so familiar. Um, It says 50 at the bottom, has the coat of arms here, a little kind of bit of a halo with this star at the top. These are just brilliant design coins. If we get right in, you can see how many facets this star has, and the circle here, and the ribbons going around, and the coat of arms with the lion and all the crown and the eagle and the swan. Just a beautiful coat of arms, and that's the same coat of arms on both. What's interesting is the 1976 coat of arms actually has more definition. The front's more beat up, and the back just looks much more defined. That showing a little bit of the 20 years younger. Okay, again, obviously on the back of these, they're dodecagonal too, and they have the 12 sides. So that's all we have today from the continent of Australia's 50-cent coins from 1976 and 1996. Feel free to subscribe to the DC Coin World International coin channel.